Okay, so for an aquarium like this, the first thing we're going to need to make sure you've got is some water ager. So the water ager is for taking chlorine out of the water. So you sprinkle a tiny little bit of water ager every time that you put new water in the aquarium. So you definitely treat the first time, you definitely treat water changes, and you also want to treat water when you top it up. And when you do a water change, which is remove some water and put some water back in, it's really better to top the tank up before you do the water change. That way the dissolved salts and so forth can be a little bit more consistent. Now the next thing that you're going to need is to be aware of your carbonate hardness level, because your KH will stabilize your pH. So you want to be aware of what your requirements are for the fish you keep. We also recommend GH salts, and these are going to help immune system and help body slime and so forth. We also encourage good bacteria. So the good bacteria make sure that the bacteria that grows in the filter is capable of breaking down the waste from your fish. And once you open these products up, they're better off in the fridge. They tend to last longer. Now, fish keeping is 50% about water quality and 50% about fish food. So making sure that you have a high quality fish food. This one here is my favorite fish food because it is very clean food and it is slow cooked. So this one's actually cold extruded, and it's got the probiotic bacteria in it. And the probiotic bacteria in this food means that when the fish poo, the bacteria in the poo eats the poo. Now, I'm also going to recommend that you feed some Danichi. When it comes to pure quality, I think Danichi is the best. When it comes to clean, I think that Probiotics by New Life Spectrum is the best. And when you're feeding your fish, it's really important to pay attention to the belly of the fish. And over time, if you notice any of the fish getting a skinny belly, then you need to feed more. If you notice any of the fish getting fat, you need to feed less. And you also need to pay attention to what fish are getting skinny and fat. So if you notice the bigger fish are getting skinny, then you might want to add a bigger pellet. And that doesn't mean you stop the smaller pellet, but add a bigger pellet. And if you notice the little fish getting skinny, you might want to add a smaller pellet. And the same with floating pellets and sinking pellets. So if you're getting little fish, then you might want to feed a flake food, but a high quality wafer is a very good idea as well. And if you are going to buy a wafer, go for these New Life Spectrum ones because they're water stable, so they take 24 hours before they start to break down. And so dropping one of these into the bottom so your fish can scavenge on them during the day is a really good idea. So I generally feed the fish about what they eat in 30 seconds. So there's no food left after 30 seconds, about 5 times a week. So not every day. So the next thing is water quality. So making sure you have good quality food and making sure that you understand your water. So your pH, that's your acid levels. Over time, the fish tend to make the water more acidic. So you want to make sure your pH is not too low. Your KH is your carbonate hardness, and that will help to stabilize your pH. Once again, depending on the fish that you have, you definitely don't ever want 0. Then you've got ammonia, which is first degree fish waste. So the food, fish will eat the food, then the fish will produce waste in the form of ammonia. The ammonia should encourage the filter to grow good bacteria. The good bacteria that grows in the filter should break the ammonia into nitrite. Then other bacteria should grow in the filter to break the nitrite into nitrate. And providing you've got high quality filter media such as this tank does, like the Marine Pure, then you should have a capacity for denitrification. Otherwise, water changes will also help to get rid of your nitrate. If you have ammonia or nitrite, then that's a filter problem. You need to make sure you have plenty of oxygen in the system to make sure the filter can be effective. And if you have enough filtration, ammonia and nitrite should not be a problem. If nitrate comes up, then you either need to feed better quality foods or have less fish or do more water changes. So we've also got a gravel cleaner. When you do a water change, you never want to take the good water out of the top of the aquarium. You want to take the water out of the gravel, and that gets all the crap out of the gravel and helps to clean. It gives much better bang for buck when you're water changing. Then I've got a net for catching fish, particularly if you get a troublesome fish, you might need to catch it out. And we've also got a fine net. I reckon every aquarium should have a fine net, and this is just for catching out any debris that may be in the aquarium. And making sure you've got a magnet cleaner. These flippers are absolutely fabulous. So they've got this blade on them, and they do a wonderful job cleaning your glass. So there's some bits and pieces that will go with this aquarium, which we're waiting to fill up.